Hey guys, so it is math time and we are still on multiplication. So let's kind of review what multiplication is and the two ways we have been showing multiplication. So if you remember, multiplication is combining equal groups. Combining means we're putting together. Equal groups mean the same. Okay, so we're combining the same amount of groups together to find our total. And we have learned two ways to show multiplication. So we have learned equal groups where we're having the same amount in each group to figure out our total. So that looks like this. So if I have 4 times 2, that means I have 4 groups of 2 in each. We also have talked about showing multiplication with repeated addition, and that means we're adding the same number over and over. So we're taking what we have in our groups and we're adding it over and over. We're adding them, however many groups we have is however many times we add them. So for instance, I have 4 groups of 2. So I am adding 2 4 times to get my total. Okay, so today we're going to talk about another way we can show multiplication, and that is called an array. Okay, and so an array are objects or numbers arranged in equal rows and columns. Okay, so our rows go this way, so think horizontal. Our rows go this way, and our columns go this way. So rows, columns, rows, columns. So do that with me. Rows, columns, rows, columns. Okay, so columns go, think about up and down, vertical. Rows go left and right, horizontal. So that's very important when we start using arrays. So if I wanted to show an array for 4 times 2. So 4 tells us the number of groups. That's going to tell us how many rows. So the 4 can also tell us rows. Okay. And guys, when we do arrays, you can draw pictures, you can draw whatever. I'm going to do X's to represent my arrays, but it doesn't matter what object you do. Okay, and then my 2 is going to be my columns. So the number to the left of the multiplication signs are rows. The number to the right is columns. Okay. Okay. So if I wanted to show 4 times 2, so I need to make sure that I have 4 rows. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need 2 columns. This is 1 column. This is 2 columns. Okay, so that means that I have 4 rows of 2. So 4 rows of 2. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4 rows, and I have 2 in each row. Okay. So remember, an array are objects or numbers arranged in equal rows. Remember, we said the word equal means the same. So each row has to have the same number. That's what equal means. So objects or numbers arranged in equal rows and columns. So let's come over to my Elmo and let's work on some problems that show this, okay? Okay, guys, so now that we talked about what are arrays, let's kind of work some problems to draw what an array is, okay? So we're going to look at what it's asking us to do, and we're kind of going to be in a grocery store, okay? And so we're going to be building displays. So like when you kind of go to the store, they have the shelves with the food on them. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing for our arrays. And so we're going to read what it's asking us. It says the store has 6 shelves. It wants 3 cartons of eggs on each shelf. Okay, so our rows are going to be our shelves. So rows are going to equal the shelves. Okay. And our items are going to be our columns. Okay. So I'm going to have 6 shelves. So I'm going to have 6 shelves with 3 cartons. So here's my first shelf. 1, 2, 3. So I have 3 eggs. And I need 6 more shelves, or 5 more. So there's shelf 2, shelf 3, shelf 4, 5, and 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. And so remember, all of these right here are my rows, and these up here are my columns. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is, if I want to figure out the total, I can do my addition equation. So that's my repeated addition. So if I wanted to figure out, instead of going and counting each x, I could add all my rows. So I have 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3. So I'm going to add 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals. So 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 3 is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15, and 15 plus 3 is 18. Okay, now my multiplication equation is going to be my multiplication, where I'm going to use the numbers with a multiplication sign. So I'm going to take the number of rows. So if I have my multiplication sentence, this one here is my rows. This over here is my columns. Okay. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows, and I have 1, 2, 3. 3 columns. So 6 times 3 equals 18, and I know that because I did my repeated addition. Okay. So that is what we're doing. We're drawing our array. We're writing the repeated addition. Okay, so just because it says addition equation, guys, that is our repeated addition. And that is where we are adding the same number over and over, okay? Depending on how many groups or how many rows we have is how many times, okay? So I need to go sharpen my pencil, so I'm gonna pause real quick. All right, I'm back. Okay, so let's try another one. So we're talking about cupcakes. The store has 2 shelves. So remember we said we forgot to put here, there are 18 egg cartons on display. Stanley forgot that. So we have the store has 2 shelves and wants 8 cupcakes on each shelf. So remember, our shelves are our rows and our items are our columns. So let's make so I need 2 shelves of 8 cupcakes. Okay, so here's shelf number 1, and I have 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that's 1 row. I need 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if you notice, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 columns. Okay, and you don't have to write the R's and C's. That just kind of helps me. Okay, so our repeated addition, guys, is where we're going to add the number of rows. So I know that each row has 8, so 8 plus 8. That's my repeated addition. 8 plus 8. I'm going to add 8 2 times because I have 2 rows. So that is 16. That's a doubles fact. Okay. So my multiplication would be, remember this is rows. This number tells me the columns. So I have 2 rows of, this means of 8, which would be 16. So even though I don't know what 2 times 8 is, I can draw my arrays and I can do my repeated addition to figure out the total. Okay, so you may just say, Miss Anthel, well, I'm not good at multiplication. That's fine. We don't have to know what 2 times 8 is just by looking at it. That's why we're drawing the arrays and we're doing the repeated addition to help us figure it out. Okay, and so there are 16 cupcakes on display in the store. Okay. Now, guys, I forgot to tell you, this was the handout you needed, which was the arrays. Guys, remember, if you don't have the handouts, you can be working this on notebook paper with me. You could be drawing the pictures and writing this out, okay? Let's do one more together, and then I'm going to have you do the apples on your own. So we're going to talk about the water. And so I have 3 shelves. The store has 3 shelves and wants 5 water bottles on each shelf, okay? So 3 shelves, those are my rows. This is my rows, this is my columns. Okay, so I'm going to have 3 shelves with 5 bottles. So let's do the first shelf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, well, I need another one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Remember, our shelves have to have the equal groups. So they have to have an equal number. Okay, and my last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, these are my rows. These are my columns. So if I wanted to add all of this together, I would say 5, because there's 5 in each row, plus 5 plus 5. 5 plus 5 plus 5. Guys, and I can count by 5s. 5, 10, 15. Okay. And so my multiplication sentence would be, so I start with my rows. I have 3 rows of 5, which is 15. Okay, so there are 15 water bottles on display in the store. Okay, so I want you to do the apples. The store has 4 shelves and wants 6 apples on each shelf. So draw me the array. Tell me the repeated addition. So the addition equation means repeated addition. And then tell me the multiplication equation. And then write your answer down here, guys. All right.